Okay, I can see that just the enthusiasm here. I want to read to you something that Baden-Powell said about it. Patrol method is the one essential feature in which scouting training differs from all other organizations. And where properly applied, it absolutely bound to bring success, cannot help itself. The patrol system is not one method in which scouting for boys can be carried on. It is the only method. And unless the patrol method is in operation, you don't have a real Boy Scout troop. Now, I tried to think a lot about what the patrol method was. And I tried to boil it down to something. And to me, it boils down to a small group of boys and the boys doing it. And that's, essentially, that's it right there. A small group of boys and the boys doing it. And it's all about method, right over here, one of the scouting methods, patrols, that's one of the ways we do it. But what it's trying to accomplish is one of the aims of scouting, which is citizenship. I really like the definition of citizenship that scouting gives. Broadly defined, citizenship means the boy's relationship to others. He comes to learn of his obligations to other people, to the society he lives in, and to the government that presides over that society. Most of the time when we think about citizenship, we think about that responsibility to government and to the country. But it's really, in its more broad sense, a responsibility to each other. And that's what boys need to learn. And so it's a group of boys and they do it themselves. I was reading a patrol leader handbook from I think it was 1951. And it tells this story about a group of boys in about 1910 or somewhere right around there who find this book of Baden-Powell's. And they're looking at it, and it looks like a lot of fun. It has a whole bunch of things in there to do, so they decide to get together, and they start meeting together as a group, and they read the book, and then they go out and they try stuff. Sometimes they don't get it figured out the first time, you know, and they read the book, and they look, and they think about it, and they try it a different way, and they get something figured out, and they're having a lot of fun with this stuff. And they read about camping. So they decide to go out camping. So they get together, and pack up some blankets and a few things, and they head out together to go camping. And they get out there, and in the middle of the night, a policeman comes along. Wants to know what they're doing out there. We're camping. Well, I guess the policeman wasn't too happy with them. And he says, "Come with me." Pack up all their stuff, and he drags them back, and they end up going back to their houses and got in trouble, and the parents were wondering where they were and all this stuff. But they really liked that book that they'd been reading. They were really committed to keep reading it and doing stuff. So, you know, a couple days later, they're back at the barn reading through the book, and one of the boys speaks up and says, "It talks about a thing called a scoutmaster in here. I think we need one of those." Because I think if we would have had a scoutmaster with us, that would have kept the policemen away. Yeah, that's what the patrol method is. That illustrates it right there. And it illustrates our job as scoutmasters. Essentially what we want to try to do is have those boys doing their program. And we're there to help them. Keep out of trouble, but letting them figure it out. And that's what the patrol method is. It's about leadership. You're going to say something, Scott?
It was. I was going to plug Timberline. If you can have,
okay, yep.
If you can have 2 boys go to Timberline a year or more, your troop will run like a greased machine, an oiled machine, because they'll learn their duties and you can turn them loose. But if they don't get that training, it's pretty hard to teach it to them as easy as Timberline does.
Yes, and I think that's really good for boys to get in there on that, yeah.
I found the hard part's getting the first one to take over and run the program. Once you get a leader, a youth leader in there that runs the program, the others will watch him and they'll pick it up.
And they start
So when he
picking it
moves
up.
on, somebody
Yeah.
else will take his place.
And
You
so
gotta-
whoever your
getting
senior
that first
patrol
one's the
leader,
hard part. Once you get them there, it'll take care of itself.
it will.
Gotta
And
get
you
them
gotta
trained,
train.
Yeah, you gotta do timberline and get them
Yeah.
trained too.
Clark tells a story about sitting there with a boy in a bishop's meeting somewhere and whispering in his ear to help him know what to say, you know? But that's what you gotta be, is the shadow government or whatever, the shadow leader that helps them try to do that. And have a meeting beforehand to help them understand the agenda and have them actually plan the agenda so they know what they're doing, getting them involved. And one of the things that can kind of help too sometimes is fill those other positions in scouting. Boys, get them, and then have that leader directing them too. And have those boys have opportunities to do stuff, to lead each other. But it's a small group of boys, 5 or 6 boys, and they're taking care of it. Another thought that I had about it was, failure is an option. It has to be an option. Because how can you learn if you don't make mistakes? In our society, we try to practice the idea that failure is not an option. But failure really should be an option. Because if you goof it up, let's go back and do it again. And we'll see if we can get it right this time. And if we don't, well, okay, we'll try it again. And so let the boys learn on their own. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So anyway, just some thoughts on the patrol method. Get your leaders, plan with them, get them, how are we doing for time, Clark? Yeah, stop, okay. Okay, get your leaders, plan with them, let them run the show. And do is just keep giving them more and more as you can. And one other thought, when boys have questions about what's going on, and what are we doing, and what's happening, don't answer the questions. Direct them to the patrol leader, or the senior patrol leader. Tell them, go to the leader and ask the questions. Those are the guys who know. Okay.